This second one is finding the big rocks. I've used this analogy 1,000,001 times, but I've heard two different versions of it. One, you can think of it like if you were trying to clear out a room with a bunch of rocks in it, you would get rid of the big rocks first. The other one that I've heard is some college professor analogy where he's filling up a fish tank with rocks, puts a bunch of rocks in there, and obviously they take up the most space, but it is obviously not everything. There's still space in there. You can use that analogy whichever way is going to be best for you to understand. This is you looking at the things that are going to make the biggest difference. Again, the big rocks, they're going to be different things for different people. There's going to be people where the big rock is cutting out processed food. There's going to be people are only sleeping 5 or 6 hours a night. It's going to be people are inconsistent. It's going to be that they don't have a good support system. But this is actually where coaching as a whole really comes in handy, is kind of noticing your blind spots, right? So I even have a couple people that I reference back to when it comes to my own, my business and how I do a lot of different things. Everybody has coaches for everything nowadays, because they can pick up on your blind spots, right? So what is that big rock for you? Do you fall off the wagon with the gym every 2 weeks? Do you, eat like shit or go drinking like crazy every single weekend? Are you around people who are always tempting you with different kinds of, vices, I suppose we'll call it? Find out what those are and really hone in on that. So let's say you're someone who eats a ton of processed food. Cut as much processed food as you can. Cut out what is reasonable for you, because that's another thing too. Is like your plan needs to be manageable, which I'll get there because spoiler alert, that's number 3. But you've got to make the changes where it's going to be a big deal for you. Let's say you're someone who eats good 99% of the time, but you sleep terribly. Most people look at diet and go, oh, this is the most important thing, which it is majority of the time. But if you're someone who already eats really, really well, you're looking for your deficiency. Just because you're going to get a 1% increase on your nutrition doesn't really matter if you're like 50% of the way there as far as like what optimal sleep is, right? So finding those big rocks for yourself and executing on them.
Hey guys, for the first time in my entire life, I only have a mustache. I hope you still subscribe, whether you're looking at this on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or somewhere else. Go find me on Instagram at AndrewPFM or Pride Fitness and Movement, or go find me on TikTok. I post some really unacceptably obscene shit on there, but I hope you still follow me anyway. So we'll see you guys later.